Hello and welcome to H. Greg Locks. Here I have a 2015 Rolls-Royce Wraith. This car came with a clean Carfax report and it has 4 previous owners. What I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to show you around the car. We're going to take a look at it to see if there's any kind of damage, including scratches, dents, chips, or anything else. Here at H. Greg Locks, we want to be as transparent as possible and give you total peace of mind. So if there's anything you need to know about this car, we will let you know. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go panel by panel, checking out the vehicle, and we're going to start right here with the front bumper. Let's take a look. Front bumper looks perfect. I'm not seeing any kind of damage. What about the hood? Hood looks perfect. Again, I'm not seeing any sort of damage. Now we can move on right here to the driver's side of the vehicle, starting with this fender. Fender looks perfect. I'm not seeing any kind of damage. What about the wheel? And this wheel is in perfect condition as well. There's no sign of curve rash or any other kind of damage. Now we can move on right here to the door. And we just want to know if this car has any sort of damage, including scratches, dents, chips, or anything else. Door's looking good. What about this fender? And once again, I'm not seeing any kind of damage. Let's move on right here to the wheel. And just like the first one, this one is in perfect condition as well. Now we can go ahead and move on to the back, where again, we just want to know if this car has any sort of damage at all. Let's take a look at the rear hood. Looking good. I do notice right here on the left side that there's a scratch right next to the tail light. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the rear bumper. Again, we want to know if there's any sort of damage. Everything's looking good. Now we can move on right here to the passenger side, starting with this fender. Everything's looking good here. What about the wheel? And this wheel is in perfect condition, just like the last two. There's no sign of curve rash or any other kind of damage. Perfect. Now let's move on right here to this door panel. And just like the other side, this one is in perfect condition. Now, what about this fender? The last one. And again, I'm not seeing any sort of damage. There's no scratches, no dents. This fender's in excellent condition. What about the last wheel? And I can safely say that all of the wheels of this car are in excellent condition as well. Now we can move on to the interior of the vehicle, and the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take a look at the seat. We're checking the leather. We want to know if there's any type of wear and tear, any sort of damage. And I do notice wear and tear right here on the side, as you can see on the screen, on the base right here as well, and some on this side as well. There's no sign of major damage, no tears, looking good. What about the door panel? And again, we want to know if there's any kind of damage at all. But the only thing I notice is just some very minor wear and tear right here on the armrest. But overall, the door panel is in excellent condition. Now we can move on to the other side of the vehicle, the passenger side, and we're going to do the same thing. We're first going to take a look at the seat, checking the leather. We want to know if there's any sort of damage. And just like the other side, I noticed some wear and tear on this side, as you can see on the screen, along the base, and on this side as well. Alright, and again, that's the other side. There's no sign of major damage. There's no tears, no scratches. This seat's looking good. Now, once again, what about the door panel? And just like the other side, we want to know if there's any sort of damage at all. But the only thing I notice is just some wear and tear, once again, on the armrest. Very minimal. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the back seats, starting with this one on the passenger side. This one looks perfect. What about the other one? And this one looks perfect as well. Now with the car on, I want to show you a few things. The first of which is the mileage of this vehicle. As you can see in the middle of the dashboard, this car has 9,417 miles. The other thing I want to show you is that this car comes with a GPS system, and very important as well, it comes with a backup camera. Perfect. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the steering wheel. We want to know if there's any sort of damage on the leather all around, any type of wear and tear. And here in the top, I noticed 2 minor scratches you can barely notice on the camera, and 2 other minor scratches right here on the left side. Everything else is looking good. What about the buttons? We want to know if there's any sort of damage on them. This side's perfect. And this side's perfect as well. Now let's take a look at the mid console. We want to know if there's any scratches on the screen, on the knobs, the buttons, or anywhere else. Everything's looking good. I'm not seeing any signs of damage. The mid console is in excellent condition. Let's now take a look at the trunk of the car, and we want to know if there's any sort of wear and tear around the sides or along the floor of the trunk. And as you can see, there's no sign of damage or any type of wear and tear. The trunk of this vehicle is in excellent condition and very well kept. Before we finish off this video, let's take a look at the engine. And we just want to take a quick look. Thank you for watching this video. If you have any questions at all, please don't hesitate to contact one of our representatives here at H. Greg Lux.